most welcome for our news at 1 here at Sararights TV, where we bring you the comprehensive coverages covering stories from West Nile, Uganda, and the worldwide. Here are our top stories. Mune University constructs Ugandan shillings 160 billion for teaching hospital. AIDS Commission warns against claim of HIV cure through prayer. 2 children killed, 3 injured in Kabalaga house attack. Former Liberian vice president charged in drug trafficking probe. I am Florence. Let's have the stories into details. Mune University has embarked on the construction of 160 billion Ugandan shillings teaching and research hospital to address the shortage of specialized medical personnel, expand access to advanced health care service, and strengthen medical research and training in West Nile. The shortage, according to the university, has created an urgent need to train more specialized medical professionals, including doctors and pharmacists, while providing the facilities necessary for practical training, research, and innovation. This was revealed on Wednesday, 19th of August 2026, during a press conference held ahead of the groundbreaking ceremony of the construction of the Mune University Teaching and Research Hospital scheduled for Friday in Arua City. The government of Uganda approved Ugandan shillings 160 billion for the multi-year project, which will be undertaken by Rocco Construction Company Limited. Professor Simon Anguma Katrin, the Vice Chancellor of Mune University, said the government has allocated shillings 30 billion for the project in the current financial year, of which Ugandan shillings 20 billion has already been released to the university. He said the hospital will offer a wide range of specialized medical services, including fertility treatment, reducing the need of patients to travel outside the region or country in search of advanced health care. That means doctors are not enough, and Uganda's case is worse when it comes to specialized fields of medicine. He stressed the planned facility will include biomedical laboratories, lecture theaters, and several operating theaters, including a dedicated organ transplant theater and another especially designed for women. The President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, is expected to be the chief guest at the groundbreaking ceremony, which will also be attended by the Minister of Health, the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, members of Parliament from West Nile, and local leaders. In another story, Uganda AIDS Commission has cautioned religious leaders and believers against claiming that HIV can be cured through prayer, warning that such messages could encourage patients to abandon life-saving treatment. The warning follows that the Commission describes as public claims by some religious leaders and individuals that people previously diagnosed with HIV have been healed after prayers. In a statement, that UAC acknowledged the important role religious leaders play in providing hope, counseling, compassion, and support to people living with or affected by HIV, but stressed that claims about HIV diagnosis, treatment, and cure must be based on scientific evidence. The Commission said there is currently no scientific validated cure for HIV available for routine clinical use. Instead, it said HIV can be effectively controlled through antiretroviral therapy, which suppresses the virus, protects the immune system, and enable people living with HIV to live long and healthy lives. However, the Commission cautioned that viral suppression should not be mistaken for a cure. Viral suppression, however, is not the same as a cure, the Commission said. The Commission said a person who previously tested positive for HIV but later received a negative result requires careful assessment before any conclusion is made. The USA has consequently urged every diagnosed with HIV to continue taking ART exactly as prescribed and warned against stopping treatment on the evidence of religious leaders, family members, or other people who are not responsible for their clinical care. According to the Commission, interrupting ART can allow the virus to multiply, weaken the immune system, cause illnesses, increase the risk of transmission, and contribute to drug resistance. The Commission has also called upon religious leaders to exercise caution when speaking about alleged HIV cures and not present healing claims are established medical facts unless they have undergone appropriate clinical investigation. It urged faith leaders to encourage their followers to seek HIV testing from accredited health facilities, begin treatment when diagnosed, attend scheduled medical reviews, and continue using appropriate HIV prevention services. Still in Uganda, police in Wakiso district fired shot to disperse residents protesting the dispute election of a village chairperson, with several people arrested during the confrontation. Police in Wakiso district fired shots into the air and onto the ground on Wednesday 19th to disperse angry residents of Chiabando in Mumyoka sub-county who attempted to occupy an office they claimed was being used by a village chairperson who fraudulently won the election. The confrontation followed weeks of protest by residents who have rejected the victory of Richard Mwanze, insisting that he did not legitimately win the election. Tension escalated when a group of residents stormed the office they claimed belonged to the dispute village chairperson and ordered people inside to leave. The protesters reportedly removed some items from the office and threw them outside. Police were called to the scene and attempted to restore order by ordering the protesters to leave the office and vacate the area. The situation, however, escalated after some residents accused the police of corruption and alleged that officers were colliding with individuals they claim had rigged the election. Police responded by firing shots into the air and onto the ground, forcing the protesters to disperse. Some residents said they would not recognize Manjo as their leader because they believe he did not win the election. Another resident vowed that the protest would continue until their complaints were addressed. "We shall continue fighting until we get justice in this matter," the resident said. The confrontation ended with several people arrested as police moved on contain the situation. The Chiabando dispute is among a number of village council elections that have attracted complaints over alleged irregularities following the recent concluded polls. The Electoral Commission has said it will continue examining complaints submitted by candidates and voters concerning the village council election. In another sad story, 2 children have been killed and 3 others injured in an early morning attack at Kalungu, Bungagampa Parish in Kampala, Makende Division. The incident occurred at about 4 a.m. on Thursday, 20th August 2026, and is being investigated as murder, attempted, and arson. ASP Luke Oyozengire, the DOP spokesperson of Kampala Metropolitan Police, said According to the Kampala Metropolitan Police Staff, a housemaid was awakened by an alarm and cries for help from children in the main house. When she went to check, she found several children with severe injuries and immediately shouted help. Police said 14-year-old Daisy Khadija was found dead in her room, while 7-year-old Dalena Hawa later died while receiving treatment at Zambia Hospital. 3 other children aged 13, 8 and 5 survived the attack and were rushed to hospital for treatment. Police identified the suspect as Dorothy Namayo, a 43, a Kenyan nation and mother of the victims. Namayo was also found injured and is currently admitted at Mulago National Referral Hospital under police guard. During the incident, a Toyota Hiace vehicle at the premises was set on fire and completely burned. The bodies of Khadija and Hawa were taken to Mulago City mortuary for postmortem examination. Police said statements had been recorded from the person who reported the incident and other relevant witnesses as investigation continued to establish the circumstances surrounding the attack and its motive. The suspect remained under police guard at Mulago as inquiries continue. Lastly, in international news, Liberia has charged former Vice President Jewel Howard Taylor with a drug trafficking, money laundering, and a range of other offenses, the country's Justice Ministry announced. Howard Taylor, who served as a vice president for 6 years to 2026, was detained before boarding a flight to leave Liberia at Roberts International Airport in the capital, Monrovia. She was taken to National Police Headquarters and has yet to make any public comments about the charges. The West African country has launched a major crackdown of transnational drug trade, particularly cocaine trafficking, in recent years. Howard Taylor is accused of illegal importing, selling, and transporting controlled drugs, as well as helping to facilitate drug trafficking. Liberian authorities say they are determined to apprehend the foreign nationals and that they are targeting all parts of the drug trafficking network: organizers, facilitators, and financiers. In recent months, officials have conducted multiple drug trafficking seizures, with some of them among the largest in the country's history. She held a senior role in a former President George Weah administration, whose 6 years in power from 2018 to 2024 was plagued with allegations of corruption and financial mismanagement. When President Joseph Boakai took over, he pledged to crack down on corruption. He has also said that he does not want Liberia to turn into haven of drug trafficking. West Africa is increasingly a major transit route for cocaine trading from South America to Europe. That brings us to the end of our news this afternoon. Before I conclude, let's have the recap of the top stories. Muni University construct Ugandan shillings 160 billion for teaching hospital. AIDS Commission warns against claim of HIV cure through prayer. 2 children killed, 3 injured in Kabalaga house attack. Lastly, former Liberian vice president charged in drug trafficking probe. That brings us to the closer of our news at 1 this hour. Have the best of your day.